Hello my lovelies, how are you all? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you're all okay. Hopefully everybody's well. It's a grey, cold old day out there, but you know, hopefully you're getting in the festive spirit a little bit. So yeah, we've got lots and lots going on. I think I'm just a minute or so early, but that's okay. We're fine. I'll just chat rubbish until you all come online. So I'm just going to check your comments, see who's coming online. Can you hear me to start with? Let me know. Let's hope these microphones are working now. Let me just check your comments. Oh, hello. Hi, can you hear me? First of all, let me know, are the microphones working today? I hope so, because Josh isn't here. So we've got, we're going to do the Advent first. And then we're going to do this circular table topper that I didn't get to do last week. So we're going to have a little look at that today, okay? You can hear, brilliant, fabulous. So we're going to have a little look at that today, okay? But first of all, we've got the Advent. So we're going for number 14, okay? So it's the 14th day, so we've got number 14. So I've got my big bowl here, so I'm going to just give it a really good mush up, like this. Get all those ones from the top to the bottom and back again. And then close my eyes because it's just me here, and I'm going to go with that one there. I think it's only one, and it is number 380, and it's Claire Saunders. Is that another double? That might be another double. Some of you ladies are very lucky. Claire, I think you won a voucher, didn't you? Oh, I can't remember now. There's been a few already, but you've still got lots of chances to win. So number 14 is, let's open number 14 and open that up. And you've won a fat quarter bundle. So you've got 4 fat quarters in there, okay? So congratulations, Claire. Number 380 came out of the pot, and that is for a fat quarter bundle. So congratulations for the winner. Let's just say hello to everybody before I'm going to pop that back in there. Put that in there and that over there out of the way. And let's say hello to everybody. Who's there? Who's about? So, hi Carol, hi Anne, hi Cheryl, hi Sheila. Who else is there? Hi Jane, hi Debbie, hi Linda. Oh, hi other Jane. Hi Claire. Oh, lovely. Lots and lots of you coming on now. Brilliant. Hi Lynn. I think one flew out. Oh, did it? It did. I just found it. Well done. I'm going to put that one back in. I don't know who that is. Good spotting, Lynn. Well done. Sorry, excuse me. Nose. I'm still... Allergies, all that rubbish. And my cold has gone. It's just my allergy nonsense. So let me just come down a little bit so I can check out your comments while we're doing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a little go at... Quite a few of you had asked for a circular table topper. So I looked at doing a Bargello one because I've done a circular Bargello quilt. We did it as a class ages ago. But they come out really big, and you know, I thought actually you've got time. This genuinely took me, I was supposed to do it last Thursday, so it took me the Sunday afternoon. It comes together really quickly. So you could do it for Christmas, or I've got some fabrics that I'm going to do it in so it's not Christmassy. I'm playing around with some fabrics just to see what happens. So I did this one all in Christmas fabrics. I do think I'd probably, if I I've done it with this one, I would make more contrast with the top and the bottom, which I'll explain to you in a minute, okay? But it's nice and easy, and it's a perfect excuse to play around with your 9-degree wedge ruler, okay? If you've ever bought the Spiral Bargello table runner pattern from us, the paper template in that is this size. If not, these are from Crafter UK, make these for us. It's a 9-degree, you do need a 9-degree wedge ruler. You can also, if you've got one in your stash somewhere, you can also do this with the 10-degree wedge ruler. You'll just need less wedges. But because this is our White Gecko one, I'm using the 9, okay? Could have been yours, Lynn. It wasn't lovely. I won't say it was, but it wasn't yours, I promise. So I'm going to go to the overhead and go through the measurements and all for you. However, this can absolutely be done in any measurements. If you want it smaller or larger, you can change these measurements as long as they echo each other, okay? So I thought I'd have a go at it in these lovely ombres. Do you remember these ones, Lipstick Cowgirl they were called? And I thought this might give a really interesting effect because you've got the ombre, so you can have different colours as you go round the table runner. So I thought we'd do it this, and in order to get it to that size behind me, the sizes of fabric that I picked were, that I cut, I had 2 pieces, which were, this is the right place for you guys, I think so, 3 3/4 inches across the width of the fabric. Okay, so everything that you need, you can't do this fat quarters, you need it width of fabric. Okay, you can do this with long quarters. Okay, so in total you're going to need 5 fabrics. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the same as that one, 5 fabrics, long quarters. Okay, from fabric number 1 you're going to cut 2 strips which are 3 3/4 wide. From fabric number 2 you're going to cut 4 strips which are 1.5 inches wide. You're going to make 2 strip sets, okay, which is why you need 2, 4. You're going to need fabric 3, 2.5 inch strip, fabric 4, 2.5 inch strip times 2, because you need 2 strip sets, and then fabric 5, 3 3/4 again. Like I was saying, if you want to make it smaller, you can make these smaller, okay? Like that, you can make them smaller. You could make this centre bit smaller. You can do whatever strip sizes you want, depending on what size you want to do. Okay, how this goes together means that you can, if you want it bigger, you can make these ones bigger. You could make this bigger. Okay, you can play around with it. But that's the colours I did originally. Let me just go back here a second. I will write this up as a pattern. I have started it, but with everything that's been going on the last week, I haven't had a chance to finish it because I've got some stuff going on, so I haven't had a chance to finish it, but I will write it up as a pattern. But it's very simple, you can probably just follow along with this. Okay, so I've sewn them together. Okay, so I've sewn them with my 3 3/4 either side, and then those were my 1.5s, and then these were my 2.5s. Okay, and I've sewn them together in a nice long strip set right across the length. You're going to want 2 of them exactly the same, so make 2 strip sets. All right, I have also a little trick as well when you're ironing them, it just makes it a bit easier. Iron inwards on those little ones, so can you see, hopefully you can, on those little ones there, when we're nested later, it just makes it easier, so iron them towards those both times. Okay, this genuinely is very, very easy to do. Okay, when you're sewing your strip sets together, guys, okay, make sure that you go down one side and back up. So when I put these 2 together like that, okay, I started here, went all the way to the end like that. Okay, so I finished there, and then when I started this end and went back on myself. Bit like when you do a bargello. If you do that, if you go back up and down when you're sewing your strips, they stay a lot flatter. Okay, if you go all from one end, they can start to bow. Okay, don't know why, particularly if you're using very skinny strips, they can start. That would be Scout trying to get to me. No, mate, you've got to go and play with Joshy today. Go on.
Let's go. Come on.
Go on. Out you go, mate.
Come on.
He's not going to want to, is he? Come on. Out you go, mate. You can't pad around under here.
Come here. No.
Play Chase the Beagle now.
Oh, God.
What are you doing, mate?
Wrapping himself up in wires.
Come on. You can't. Not under here. Get your foot off. Hang on a minute, guys. Go on and play with Joshy. There we go. Naughty Beagle. Oh God, everything's moved now. He caught the wires, that's why he's not allowed in here, because he just gets under my feet. He loves it. Who was everyone saying? Lovely colours. Oh yeah, they are beautiful. I love these fabrics. I thought it would just be interesting to see how it came out. Grace, hi everyone, watching you at making 4 origami coin purses by the Sara did. Oh, amazing. Lash. So, put your strip sets together, make 2 of them, alright? And then you want your trusty ruler. Okay, so you want this trusty ruler. I love this. I love Craft UK's rulers. I think they're brilliant. I love the non-stick ones. They're just really, really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start all the way over here. Now I'm hoping this is in the right place for you. That's right, the cameras have all just moved, so I'm hoping it's in the right place. And you're going to line up the top edge here with the top of that fabric. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm going to shift it over as much as I can to get as much of the fabric in as I can, like that. Okay, and I'm also just going to have a little double check, because I've got these little lines here on the ruler, that they're at least as near as damn it straight. Okay, so I've got, you know, that's nice and straight down there. The horizontals are running along with those seam lines, so it's all nice and straight. Okay, they're great for earphones. They really are. They're a lovely little gift for earphones, particularly if you're making like stocking fillers and stuff. So I'm going to make my first cut. So I'm going to stand up to do this because it's a lot easier. I'm going to go up one side like that. Okay, and this is the only one that's a bit awkward, because from now on it's only one cut. So I'm going to cut down that side like that. Okay, get rid of that. That's just scrap. Okay, and there's my first wedge cut. Like that. Alright, we're then just going to carry on. So I'm going to flip the ruler, and then this time, am I in the right place, guys? Is this a good framed shot for you? I haven't got the screen on, so I can't tell. I'm going to line up on this bottom edge. Hopefully this is, try and move the fabric as little as possible. I know I'm moving it round, but I'm trying to get it in shot for you. So you're going to line it up on the bottom edge there. Okay, make sure this is in line with that cut. Bottom edge. And then away we go again. We're going to cut like that. There we go. Okay. Oh, I need a new rotary cutter. Flip it round. Okay. So I've got two wedges that look like that now. Okay. And you're going to keep doing this. Alright. So I'm going to cut a few out. You're good. Yeah, camera's good. Brilliant. Hi, Susie. Hi, Anne. Lovely. So again, line up on that top edge. Line up that ruler. Again, just have a weenie double check, make sure everything's, you know, at least parallel. You know, you might actually not actually have a line which sits on a seam, but try and make sure that it's at least parallel. At least you'll keep it nice and straight then, okay? See, that's actually moved a weenie bit, like that. Can you see I've got this little bit of excess here? That's because the fabric's stretched a weenie bit, because I need a new blade. And then I'm just going to flip that one and cut that way as well. So I'm just lining up on the top and the bottom each time. That's why you can make it as long or short as you want. You're just using excuse me, the top of the fabric each time. Okay, I'm going to flip that one around like that, and off we go again. Okay, so you could, if you are really careful, you could fold this in half, okay, and cut double. The only thing I'll say with doing that, which I did do on my second strip set because I kind of got more used to it, was I put pins through the seams like that to make sure they were definitely lined up with the seams here, because that's what you're going to need to sew to make that sort of circle work, and you want those to be in the same place. If it's a little bit off at the top and the bottom, that doesn't matter too much because you're going to be trimming and stuff down anyway. So we're going to cut a few off here. Okay, like this. And just keep going for a little bit. So talk to me for a moment, because I'm going to cut a load of wedges so that we can kind of see what's happening, okay? Hopefully you'll be able to see what's how it's going to turn out. So I need to cut quite a few so that you can see what's happening. I worked out as well that originally, when I did all the maths, I needed 40 wedges to make the 360. 9 degrees times 3, times 4, 40 would make my 360. However, when I started sewing it together, I actually needed 42. And I think that's to do with the seam allowances and how accurate you are with your seam allowances. So I cut 42 wedges. Okay, there we go. Just going to keep going. So, how's everyone doing? Sandra, good afternoon. Sorry you're late. Had to take hubby his Christmas lunch with the volunteers. Ah, lovely. It's nice that he's going out for lunch, hon. There we go. So I am going to cut a few because I want to see what happens when the colours change. So you're going to have to bear with me a weeny bit while I cut some. How's everyone else doing? Everybody okay? What have you all been up to? Are you still frantically doing your Christmas crafting? Are you all, you know, like last minute, like we all are? Oh, I'm going to get all my Christmas presents done, and then, nah, doesn't happen. We all do it at the last minute, don't we? How's everyone doing? Are you organised? Are you okay? How are you all? Talk to me, please, because otherwise it's just me rattling on. There we go, like that. So we're going to keep going, and I'm just piling them up for now because then we're going to lie them out because the colours are starting to change. So it's going to be. Just thought you'd be interested in these ombre fabrics, the effect that we might be able to get. I mean, you can do any colour fabrics at all that you want. You really can. They could be matching top and bottom, whatever you like. Make these really, like I did in the other one, dark, so they're a definite circle. Play around with your fabrics. So there we go. Oh, I forgot to say, I've got a daily deal for you. So what I thought I'd do, after I'd made this Christmas one behind me, I'm just going to grab something a second. After I made the Christmas one behind me, I suddenly thought, I'll come back over here a second for you, rather than it just being a plain piece of fabric in the centre, which I've cut a circle and appliqued on, you could do some red work. Because I know a lot of you are massive red work fans. And our Christmas mini applique templates, which we took on a chanda, and I think there's 10 plus an alphabet in the kit. They work, they're not just appliques, they work really, really well for red work, or blue work as this one was. So I used the applique template, just drew it out, and then red worked them. But they're the right size to go in the centre. So you could, obviously with the circle there, you could red work a piece, or Merry Christmas or something. So I'm going to put the applique templates on as a daily deal. Okay, so I will put those on later this afternoon as a daily deal for you. Because I think it would work really nicely with this if you're doing a Christmas one. I mean, it might be that you're doing a Christmas one now for next year. You might not get it done in time for this year. But it's only like 10 days away. But yeah, I just thought it might work quite nicely. So sorry guys, I'm going to just do a couple more and then we're going to start sewing these together because it's just me cutting at the moment. Jean started to put the house back together after the builders are finished, hoping to wait till January to get the quartz, having to wait till January to get your worktops fitted, and then February for the kitchen to be decorated. Oh, at least the builders are out of your house though, love. I mean, that's one thing, isn't it? It's never fun having extra people in the house. Hopefully you're going to be able to at least get some space out to get your sewing machine. Oh, brilliant. Hi Karen, how are you? Lovely, lovely. Nice to see you, but yeah, don't worry about catching up, lovely. You can catch up whenever you like. There we go, so just nearly there. So you should easily get 21 out of one strip set. You might even get more than that. I might as well just carry on and cut the whole thing now, hadn't I, since I'm chattering away. Let me just move that over because it's moved a weeny bit. There we go. There we go. And then we can lay it out and I can show you how to put it together. So it's simple 1/4 inch sewing, so it's nothing complicated. Okay. The bedroom in the ensuite are finished. Ah, lovely. Claire, love the fabric. Sorry, you have to go zoom. Oh, bless you. Oh, happy zoom in. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to lie this out, and hopefully you'll see that start to appear. Okay, now you could absolutely play around with this. So I'm going to keep it just to start with in the alternate, blue, green, like this here. Okay, the alternate bits there. But there's no reason why, particularly with these ombre fabrics, why you couldn't do it totally differently. So can you see how that's starting to appear? That one there, that would be, this is literally keeping them as I cut them, okay, like that. And because of those ombres, hopefully you can see, they're starting it like the orange here and starting to work through to the purple. Where am I? That one, is that the next one? Oh, they've come out of order because I wasn't really concentrating. There we go. And then we're starting to get into the greys now. There we go, like that. So you could keep them in order, couldn't you, like that? In fact, actually, I've put that one in wrong. That one goes there. No, it doesn't. It should be like a green. Oh, there we go, like that. There we go. And then it's going to go into grey, so it's that one there, like that. Okay, can you see how those colours are starting to work? It'd be really bright, wouldn't it, for a table topper? Lovely. But you could mix and match, because they're ombres. I could have gone that one and then like that one and moved them all up one. you know, and then added like that one in. So you've got even more colours happening, okay, like that. Can you see? So I've got more colours happening here as well then. So you can have a play around with it. It comes together really, really easily. So let me just go back though and start, move this out of the way a second. I'm going to start at the very beginning because it's a very good place to start. There we go. So I've got my first two. Would that be number? That's number 4. Oh, no, it's not. That would be. Oh, I've gone right out of order. This is because I'm trying to work in a very small space. There we go. That one, like that, and then it's going to be a darkish one. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There. So there's my first 4 there. Okay, and that would be the 5th one. Like no, because that's got pink there. I've definitely that one there. There it is. There it is. So we're going into that pink, those pinky tones. There we go. That's better. The pinky tones there. Okay. So I've got my first little section. You're basically going to lie these out, all your wedges, in a in one set will make just over a half curve. Okay. So lie them all out in the design that you want, and then we're going to start putting them together. Okay. So I'm going to start with. And I would do them as, I wouldn't do them in pairs, I would do them as 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would maybe get about 6 or 7 in a wedge, and then do the next 6 or 7. Trying to do them all in pairs and keep them in order, as I've just discovered, doesn't really work. Okay, so, see that should be over here somewhere. That's my number 1, isn't it? Because of that dark colour there. That doesn't seem quite right. That I've gone. Oh, that one's not right either. Oh, what have I done? What have I done, guys? I totally got them out of order, haven't I? So it should be an orangey one with a. See, that one's there. So I'm looking for orange and bluey, right? Sorry, guys. I've just got to make sure I get this right. So it's going to be a dark one at the top. No, because that's too pale, that's further on. Oh, phooey. I didn't mess these up, didn't I? There it is. Is that it? Yeah, that's definitely those ones anyway. Let's go with those ones. That would be the next one, wouldn't it? Because I think that's that darker orange. Before we start going into... Yeah, I think that's it. We'll go with those. We'll go with those ones. Oh, no, hang on. No, that's definitely darker orange again. There we go. That one in there. Oh, sorry, guys. I've got myself in a right pickle, haven't I? Is it that one? That looks right. So we'll go with that to start with, okay? We'll go with that to start with. Would it be any good as a tree skirt? Absolutely it would. I'm doing a Sarah Jane. I am. I got myself in a pickle because they all got out of order, didn't they? But I'll lay them all out. But I'll do this little section so you can see how it comes together, okay? So, start with number 1 and 2. I know those are right because of that very, very bright orange there. So, what I'm going to do is grab those two, like that, and you want some pins. Put them right sides together, like this, okay? And you want to nest those seams, so make sure that you're flipping one of the seams. Okay, so they're both going down at the moment, so just flip that one that way and pin it. Now, you know I hate pins, you know I don't use them. This is absolutely a project that I would use pins because you really want these curves to line up. So there we go, like that. That one's okay, that goes opposite already, so that's fine. There we go. In fact, actually, you know when you do your strip set, if you do the top one facing inwards, but the bottom little one facing outwards, they'd nest naturally. Just realised that as I'm putting this together. Okay, so opposite way, like that. Yeah, Sandra, I think this would be a beautiful tree skirt. Really, really beautiful. You could maybe, I mean, depends on the size of your tree. I mean, I think the one that I did, the blue one behind me, is probably big enough as a tree skirt. But it depends whether you just want to sit your tree on it or whether you want it to go around the stand, how you construct it. But we can do that. So, pin every one of those intersections. You really want your seams to nest nicely. Okay, so we're going to go over to the machine. I'm going to go over here. Hopefully this is in the right place because I was sewing last night and I might have knocked it. So Shout if it's not, ladies, okay? Keeping those edges nicely together, and we're just going to 1/4 inch all the way down, okay? All the way down. So down over the pins a weeny bit, because I really want those seams to nest nicely. There we go. Oh, get that pin out of there, it doesn't want to be on there. There we go. Over that nesting seam there. Somebody ages ago was talking about doing an archery quilt as well. You could, or a dartboard. This would work for that kind of thing as well. You could double up the size of wedges and stuff. It's got that kind of idea, hasn't it? Okay, so we're going to go to there. And if I just come to here a second, hi. I'm just going to iron that one out. And I would iron them all one way. So it helped when you put the whole thing together if they're all going one way. So I tend to so if I've got number 1 at the bottom and I put number 2 on top, I would iron towards number 2. And then number 3, I would iron towards number 3, like that. Okay, so I'm going to add just that one over like that and give that a good press. Don't press too hard. This is gentle, gentle. You've got lots of silly bias edges and stuff, okay? So if I come over here, hopefully you can see that now. So there's my first 2 wedges together. And what you want to look for is making sure that these little skinny ones are lining up. In fact, actually, let me just press that the other way because that's not lying flat. There we go, that's better. So that those are lining up, because that's going to give you your band around. Okay, so we'll add another one on. And then it really is just adding wedge after wedge after wedge. So I'm going to add this one on now, this way. Okay, so right sides together. Again, you got to pin it. You got to put those pins in. Okay, so there's one there. Actually, now I've got them the right way round. They are naturally nesting the right way. So every other one is going to be the right way round for you. So, because it's a bit biased, if your cutting's got a bit wonky, you can absolutely give it a little bit of ease. Give it a weeny stretch and do that. Sandra, oh, a dartboard. You could put picture of you in the centre and give it to the grandkids. I'm sure they wouldn't throw darts at you, darling. That sounds awful. It's good lining up. It does line up quite well, actually. It's not difficult to line it up. You just want to, it is one of those times I would absolutely use pins. I don't like to, but I am with this. And I'm going to stitch down that one again. Okay, so I'm going to stitch all the way down there, so back over to the machine, and off we go again. It's very easy to do, and it's very repetitive. Once you've cut everything, it's just sewing wedge after wedge after wedge. Okay, it's nothing complicated. It's very boring for you guys to watch. I'm not going to sew any more together. I thought I'd just talk us through how to do the centre. Okay. There we go. But if you've got one of these rulers, you can just, go for it now. You don't need to wait for a pattern or anything. It's quite an easy one to do. So the measurements again for you. So if I come over to, I've got to go to, did I go to number 4? I can't even remember if I did now. Okay, and we're just going to iron that one out. So if I do that here for you so you can see. So because I've added that one on, I'm going to iron towards that one. First thing I'm going to do is just set the seam and just make those seams go the way I want them to. Okay, like that, so they're all nice and flat, and then gently press that out. Okay, like that. All right, really gently. Don't overstretch it. I'm not putting much pressure on the iron. I'm just letting the heat of the iron and the weight of the iron by itself do the work. Okay. So bye for now. Off the dentist. Oh, good luck, Lind. There we go. So you would just keep going. So you would add on your next one, and your next one, and you just keep going until you've made half a circle. Okay. And then you're going to use your other strip set to make the other half. All right. So you're literally just going to work. All I did was, I started here. Went all the way around and made a half circle, and then all the way around the other one and made another half circle, and then sewed them together in exactly the same method. Okay. You're left with, in fact, if I come to here a minute, you're left with a circle. Okay, which is empty in the centre, obviously. So all I did was, once this was all done, I basted it up onto some wadding. okay, and my backing fabric. So I've just put it onto some plain white on that one, backing fabric. And then I found a dinner plate. It was a dinner plate. When I write this up, I will put a template in for the circle in the centre. But I literally found a plate that was big enough. And then I drew round that onto my fabric, okay, and I needle turned it on because I like that finish, okay. So I used needle turn, and we've done lots of tutorials on needle turn. But you could absolutely do it with Bonder Web and applique on, and then blanket stitch around, or long stitch, do some hand stitching or something. You could do it with the interfacing method, where in fact we have done that as well on applique, where you use iron-on interfacing and your circle, and you sew them right sides together with the glue facing the right side of the fabric. Sew it and make a little tiny slit, push it all through, and then iron it on, and then top stitch it on. You could do that. I chose to needle turn mine on just because I wanted to be sat on the sofa watching the film. We watched Harry Potter's again, so I sat and needle turned mine on, which is fine. But choose whichever method you want to applique your circle in. And it might be that, I can't really give you a definite size for that, because it depends on how big you decide to do your wedges. If you do my sizes, which were 3 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 1 1/2, 3 3/4, okay, then it was a dinner plate. It was a good side plate, okay. But as Leonie made it's fab. It's really, really easy to do, Sandra. So yeah, it comes together really quickly as well. I genuinely did it in a Sunday afternoon sort of thing, sort of like 1 till 4ish type thing. Quilting wise, you can be as extravagant as you want. Sorry, what's that? Late today, watch later. Who was the lucky advent winner? It was Claire Saunders today. Okay, Marianne. Cool. Effective maybe what do you know to do? Oh, cool. You could quilt down, you could shadow quilt down each one. I chose to just go round the circles, okay? But you could do more quilting if you wanted to. Play around with that centrepiece. What would you do with it? I think actually do those red work ones, and I'll put them on as a daily deal. I'll do a bit of a discount on them. I'll put the appliques on. They would work perfectly in the centre there. Or maybe put, like, if you're making it for somebody, you could do like people's names. Maybe like the family's names or something round or something. You could play around with it. It's quite an easy one to do. But it did come out quite nicely. I looked at it and I was like, I'm quite pleased with that. I think I prefer, let me just come back to here a second. I think I prefer using contrast colours, so I get this definite look here. Where on the blue one behind me, I used 2 of the same blues. So the patterns, you have got a bit of a contrast, but it's not as big of one. But go for it. Have a play with your fabrics. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, you're actually getting 2 projects tomorrow, because I did the Christmas tree napkins, and they are the easiest thing in the world and took about 3 minutes to make. So I was like, what else can we do? So we're going to have a little go at a log cabin Santa as well. So we're going to do 2 projects tomorrow. So lots to keep you occupied. And I think if there's no other questions, the Redwood Bauble template from last year would work really well. Yes, that's another good template one. Yeah, those Redwood baubles that I did, again, the pattern's on the website. So there was 9 baubles. That would work really, really well in the centre. Yes, it would sit sort of about here, wouldn't it, in the centre, and then you could add some extra round. But yeah, I thought maybe like the stocking or something on that would work quite nicely as well. So anyway, I'll put those on as a daily deal. But the Redwood baubles are perfect for that as well, especially if you want like a little bit of red work. It's a bit different, I know. That's it. I will love you and leave you. If there's no other questions, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Okay. Take care. Bye.